at first.
It is working now.
Okay.
Can they just have somebody confirm that?
They did, they sent a message.
Okay,
that it's
great.
working. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyway, we'll submit a more detailed list of concerns. But I think there's an awful lot of traffic there to the tennis court. We live right there. My son lives further down that street. It's pretty constant traffic, and within no time, those trees are gonna be on top of the cars. Anyway, that's what our concern is, and I greatly appreciate your hearing us. Thank you.
Well, I think this is basically back to, my own opinion is this is back to the town office to administer and enforce the ordinance that we have. And if the trees are encroaching on the road, as a former resident of East Shore Drive, they ought to be moved. Maybe they weren't moved enough. I don't know. You can.
Yes, it's in process. We're moving the trees on the non-maintained section of East Shore Drive.
All right. I think, well, if that is adequate from your point of view.
Thank you,
All right.
Mr. Chairman.
Moving right along, we skipped into up on public safety, right? Update on public safety renovations.
Other than, I was in the other day and the work continues. There's no significant update to report on.
Okay, thank you. Upcoming meetings and subcommittee reports. The planning board is meeting on July 27th. And the summer information meeting is on July 30th at the Kennebec Center. And what time is that?
5:30.
5:30. And I will be there. I don't know if any other members of the select board will be there. We have put together a tentative agenda. If there are any other items that you know of that we should be distributing, announcing to the public, I'd like to hear about it. And, as far as I'm concerned, I am there merely to answer questions on our behalf. And, we have a presentation from the Energy Committee and a presentation from the Sea Level Rise Committee at that meeting. So any additions, subtractions, edits, you should let me know about that ahead of time. And I
Yeah,
hope-
there's a presentation also from our committee on the public safety building and
Okay,
the three.
and who is gonna do that?
I was gonna do it, but I'm gonna be out of town. Is there a Zoom capability on that over there or not?
There is, I think Lauren's already talked with Michael Hutcherson. And that is the first on the agenda, update.
So I will be giving it if I can do it via Zoom. If not, Bruce is gonna be giving it. on
Okay,
behalf of the
that's
committee.
great. Lauren would be great.
Yeah, I'll find
I
out
wouldn't
about
be.
that.
No, I'm not even sure we approved your absence.
Sure, I had a hall pass.
All right. Is there anything else on the summer information meeting anybody wants to comment about? All right,
There are some other meetings though.
okay, please.
On the 20th is the Dark Harbor Wastewater Committee meeting at 4. The 23rd, the Lighthouse Committee at 4:00. And Groundwater Protection Committee on the 28th at 4:00.
Great. All right. The town manager's report.
The only handout I've given you is from Bar Harbor Wealth Management. It's the June 30th sub-accounting. Those are our capital reserves that they break all down, if you look at it. And last meeting, there was a question about, we talked about maybe it was to do with the transfer station and demo fees. about, requiring all new building permits to mandate contractors to obtain demo bins for job sites to lessen the load on our town bins. And I talked with Dave, and so currently the planning board encourages contractors to get a bin. The answer, if you wanted to mandate it, would be an ordinance. And that's something we could look into, if that's something, and Bill Shoppy's here, the planning board should be involved in this discussion going forward. And, front office, Tina's working on the, broadband bills, that hopefully in the next week or so, she'll get those out, and I'm working on the last year's sewer bills that will be ready, for your approval at the July 29th meeting. And that's what I've been working on. Any questions?
No, I have asked Janet to update us on the plans for repaving generally and the plan to pave the parking area on Ferry Road. Maybe this is also requiring some paving. I don't know whether it does or not.
It does not.
Does not. Anyway, so that's a separate issue, but we're hopefully moving ahead on a schedule for paving this.
I have one small question on the dumpster thing. I mean, if you do a small drop for somebody, that would be a huge expense for the homeowner to have to get a dumpster. If, they're getting rid of a pickup truck load of stuff, and that's gonna tie up another reservation, another thing. I mean, if I could see if it was a whole house,
Yeah, I
depending on the job size.
And that's something that can be worked out, maybe, new construction, we're meeting a built house.
Okay, but not somebody coming in having a porch down or something, okay.
No, and that can.
No, this would be,
Okay,
like you're building a house.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
And, Jordy has his hand raised.
Okay,
Good, Jordy.
Jordy, you can go ahead, but you're muted.
So I just wanted to state, I've talked to different transfer stations in the past, and Bucksport does not allow a pickup truck, anything bigger than a pickup truck, no dump bodies, no trailers, a pickup truck, no more than 8-foot bed, and they have to hand unload. So it is possible to write an ordinance that would inhibit large amounts of materials to be deposited into the demo bins on a regular basis.
Okay. I had brought up and requested the transfer station pricing, which I think this will fall under, so. But because I had some similar concerns that Adam just expressed, that there's, the pricing starts at $22.50. And, but anyway. So when we get there, I think I'll cover the top of it.
Laura?
Have you ever thought about doing a scale? That way it's level and there we are. There's plenty of transfer stations over in America that have a scale. And it's paid by weight, and then you don't have to deal with the issue of the cost because you're paying for it, you know what you're paying for. And it might be something to benefit Hillsborough.
We have looked at the scale, but it's very, very expensive. But we can look again, maybe there's something.
I mean, everything is getting expensive and so.
If we wanna spend 10,000 to save,
Yeah, no, I get it. There's a lot of construction over here, and so, I mean, to make it fair for everybody, because whether you're in a pickup load or a pickup and a trailer, at least it's straight across the board, just something to think about.
I will look into it again. I know, cause we're losing money up there. I mean, it's not a money making.
Well, right, because you're guessing what the costs are, and if you go by weight, then it's straight across the board and everybody's paying what it is that they need to be paying for. So.
But weight doesn't mean mass. No, the amount of space it takes up is not the same as the weight.
True, but I think it's better than what you're doing now, which is a guesstimation as to what a pickup load costs. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're going by weight, at least it's giving you something a little bit more grounded to. Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Just a thought.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I think we're moving now to new business. Discuss Dylan Burrington's
Oh, did you wanna do old business?
old business.
Final,
Well, I covered that already.
Is that it?
Here's twice.
Is that the final?
I think
Okay,
so.
nothing else to.
Nobody is,
Okay, I haven't heard from the
Sorry.
school, so,
right,
because we wanna get that, printed and sent out.
as in the past, has the information meeting included a presentation from the school board?
It has sometimes, I mean, it's not every.
Because I think there's some issues there that undoubtedly will come up.
I mean,
The school doesn't seem all that interested in offering us much information right now as it stands, so I would just say if they don't reach out to us, then
I've offered
we can
it.
proceed without.
Okay, that's the fault. Seems to me, if you've been in touch with Shay or with Sky or somebody else.
It was Zach,
Zach,
Yeah.
fine,
so, but that's all right.
all right. Now can we go to the new business? Yes? All right. Is there something we need to discuss about Dylan Burrington's?
Well, I'll read this. I brought an email before the select board based on concerns that I had heard from other people. It may have been a misstep on my part to go not to Dave first, but, I'd like to acknowledge that in hindsight, I probably should have started with code enforcement or the planning board before bringing this to the select board. I'll be sure to follow that process in the future. I've spoken with Dave and it appears that the work in question is in compliance with our current ordinance. I appreciate him taking the time to walk me through it. That said, I don't think the broader concern goes away. My intent was never to single out an individual or question anyone's integrity. My concern has always been with the process and whether we're providing enough incentive for people to obtain the proper permits before work begins rather than after the fact. I think that's a conversation worth considering having as a board. If our goal is consistent compliance with our ordinances, it may be appropriate to look at how we handle retroactive permits and whether the consequences are aligned with that goal. I raise this because I care about applying our ordinances fairly, consistently, and in a way that protects the interests of the town. I hope that's how it's understood.
Sounds great to me. Just one question, which is the issue that was raised on East Shore Drive. Somebody does something that ultimately is going to violate the ordinance, what happens? But
Well, in this case, they were fined,
yeah,
and I'm working with the property manager on restoration of the vegetation that is down there, and I can tell you from my visits to the property, the groundwork that has been done is going to be a lot more conducive to regrowth of trees. The trees that are being replanted will be able to actually take root and not just sit on top of a ledge like they were before, blowing over every time the wind blows. It's gonna be a process, and it's not gonna happen overnight, but we are working and it is being resolved.
great.
And I'm encouraging people to go to Dave with questions as well.
Terrific.
Any of the select board members, any of the community members, if you have any concerns or questions about something going on this island as far as building or tree removal or anything like that, please come to me, call me. I will gladly sit and talk with you at length if you want.
I've forgotten that Billy Boardman was somebody who came and inspected people or advised them on
Yep.
shoreline.
My predecessor.
And that, he took over, you've taken over that role.
Yes,
Yeah, a couple of years now.
Yeah,
you helped me. And I still consult with Mr. Boardman.
I started this project with Mr. Boardman.
Yeah, we tried to get him.
all right. So is there any other discussion that we need to have about Dylan's remarks or anybody else? Yes,
I'd just like to say, if somebody needs something or wants to see what we're gonna do, I would love to talk to them. We're not here to molest the land. We did have significant storm damage over the last 10 years. As I'm sure Mr. Fentress knows, I'm sure their property has taken much damage too. There's no soil. There is nothing. These trees grow on 2 inches of soil and the roots are spread out. This is all from glacial deposits, and that's all that was there. And as soon as one goes, the next one goes, the next one goes. We're trying with our seawall now, we should stop the erosion, put our soil in, we have deep pockets to plant, and I think it's gonna be beautiful when we're done. Give us the time to do it. I mean, we're planting what we can plant for this minute with the drought we're in. We are fighting water like I think everybody on the island right now. But we are here, anybody can call me anytime, and I would gladly talk to anybody. So thank you for your time.
thank you.
All right.
My concern with this is, I want to make sure that our ordinances keep up with today's market, meaning if someone has the funds to pay a fine and still do what they want, that's perhaps not in the best interest of the community, then I think we need to look at that ordinance and reevaluate what the community wants from that perspective, regardless of who it is. When I have a sailboat, I sailed down the bay the other month and I looked over and I saw an area and I was like pretty surprised. And I just think that the discussion shouldn't be based on this one topic. The discussion should be based on what do we as a community want to, evaluate, reestablish, and set in place to ensure that when somebody takes a permit out or does work, that it's in compliance with what the community really expects out of a trusted builder on the island. I think there's a gap at this point between what we have on the books and what people can do. So my suggestion would be take this topic, and I think Dylan did a good, I agree with everything you said, we should, sequence is appropriate, but I still think it's a topic we should discuss and determine if we want to change any of the existing ordinance regarding this particular subject.
Well, I think it's appropriate to review the ordinance as it now stands, see if it's in the collective opinion is adequate. It seems to me, the point that this gentleman made, that maybe the consequences are not commensurate, but they're not enough of a disincentive to make somebody abide by the ordinance, in which case maybe we need to revisit the question of what are the consequences of violations.
But just so it's not, I don't want to make it an individual builder in the
Yes.
fact that, they've done a very good job over the years supporting the community in all aspects. So it's, I just want to bring it to a more global level, not as an individual.
I
So
understand.
how do we do that? How do we
Well,
have a discussion around that? People know.
okay, yes, ma'am.
From my understanding, the select board sets the prices on permits, correct?
Yes,
That being said, I agree with what you say, is the fine enough to deter somebody from taking a sidestep?
Right.
And that's nothing if they're following the ordinance, doing what they're supposed to be doing,
then it's not an issue.
but a lot of this is we have a CEO, code enforcement officer, but we don't have inspections other than for plumbing. So unless somebody comes up and brings something to his attention, he's not gonna realize that somebody might be doing something they might not supposed to be doing. Those are things to think about.
Dave checked up on me before he has come and checked on me and, you know, see if what we talked about was accurate.
Right.
So, I mean, he does check up.
It's hard when he's one day a week. I mean, if we had,
If I know that there's active tree work going on, yes, I do keep an eye on things to make sure it's not.
But it was not just tree work either.
Right, no, I mean, if, and, you know, active building permits, I do drive by,
Right.
go into the sites, everyone. When you apply for a building permit, well, I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but that gives me implied consent.
Right.
I can go on your property as I choose. Without permission, it's not trespass.
Right.
But
Ask all the
so,
voters.
yeah. But that, you know, that's the way it works.
Hey, you're asked.
I'm in a butter to that property and they've been very good about giving us notices whenever they could. There's still been issues with that and one of the worrying things being in a butter is being able to be in the backyard and look straight through to the ocean. Not saying it's not nice to have an ocean view. Perfectly happy with that. But the amount of wind that comes through there now in the winter is giving me pause about trees on my property now because it's become such a wind tunnel along there. As well, there have been issues with a well that I'm dealing with that we're about to find out if it was from the blasting or just age. But I have had issues with this property and the work that is being done on it and how a lot of ordinances weren't followed. And it's upsetting to see that the majority of the island, when I talk to people about this, say, yeah, doesn't matter because just pay the fine and do what he wants anyway. And that is what a lot of people feel about the person who owns that property.
Are you talking just about one property, or are you
I'm
talking
talking
about
about-
East Shore Drive?
I'm talking about one specific property.
You ought to look a little further north or south.
I-
Whole East Shore Drive.
I'm just saying that I'm in a butter and I pay attention to just the one. I'm sure that there's more than that, I don't know, but
I know they got
my problem is that it's only a fine for people who don't have a lot of money. It's only a hardship on them. And a lot of people out here have a lot of property, a lot of big houses, a lot of work, a lot of everything. I'm grateful for it. It keeps the island moving. I appreciate everybody who's doing the work. But the rules gotta be followed. And the fact that a beach that the island adored is gone because of a seawall that probably wasn't actually really needed since it was just ledge right there anyway. It's upsetting to a lot of people. I'm just standing up and saying, because I don't even care anymore. People can come at me and I don't care, but there are people who have said they don't want to be known as somebody who's going up against it. But I don't feel like any of this is okay. I'm not okay with that sort of work being happening right there, the way it looks, the way it was open and uncovered for months over the winter when it's not supposed to be uncovered for more than, I think, a month at the most. Things like that. And I would get dinged for these at my place if I did any of this. People would happily come up and talk to whoever because we are the islands like that and it's fine. But when it happens in a place where you can't see it as much and not so many people go, it still counts.
All right.
And it still affects.
So speaking from the select board point of view, we've already agreed here to review the ordinance, review the fines for violating that. I hear you, I don't mean to sound unsympathetic, but
Well,
I
it's been
don't.
years that this has been going on and
Of
it's been
course,
enough step for years.
and, all we can do is try and improve the administration of the ordinance so that it's more satisfactory. I don't know what else you expect at this point.
Well,
I've made complaints to the town before and I'm not positive how much of that actually got passed on and got dealt with and I'm not saying that anyone didn't or whatever. I just don't know. And again, one day a week, it's a huge job. I mean, everything that he does is wonderful and I'm grateful also for it.
Yes, sir.
In the past, blasting going on down there, your previous owner of your house came over and said he had concerns things was falling off his mantle in his living room because of the blasting. The blasters went over and put a seismologist, so whatever your seismograph on his doorstep. And the traffic going by on Main Road was disturbing the house more than the actual blasting. People to the south, same thing. Came over, said something's gonna happen here, something's blasting, so they put a seismograph on their doorstep, same thing. And I saw the guy that was staying there over the winter, and you know, it was terrible, horrible. I kept asking him questions before it was all over with. Oh, everything's fine, I don't know what I was talking about.
Okay. Yes, I see. Elizabeth, Hayden?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
MP, you can go ahead, you're muted.
Still muted.
Maybe she stepped out. Kate also has her hand raised.
I'm sorry, I was muted. You hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I filed a form at the town office. It's called a road complaint reporting form a while ago about trees that have already been planted in this area I believe you're talking about. Dave Dyer accepted it, and I believe he handed a copy to the town manager. And my complaint had to do with trees that are planted in the road there on East Shore Drive. So what's a reasonable amount of time when I will get some kind of response from somebody about my complaint? I also mentioned that there was a hazard with a bush on the corner of Decker Road and the main road that was blocking the view that needed to be trimmed back, and that was attended to promptly. They actually cut the whole bush down. But I haven't heard anything at all about these trees that have recently been planted and they're in the road.
Have you driven down that way recently? Because they are being moved.
Yeah, I just actually got out of my car and looked at it again this morning. I saw that they put some more dirt around the roots of some, but I didn't see any trees that were moved back away from the center line of the road.
The gentleman that's moving them is just informed me that 13 of them have been moved already.
Well, I know there's been a little between the section of East Shore Drive that begins at Decker Road and going north, going toward the new driveway he put in. There's been some trees cut down there, but those weren't recently planted. These trees are, if you take a right at Decker Road, they're right there. I'll take another look, but honestly, I got out of my car and I looked and I saw some fresh dirt, but I didn't see any trees moved out of the road.
So I will drive down first thing in the morning and look at that. So.
Okay.
All right, we had it done.
I'd be happy to meet up with you. I happen to be on the mainland tomorrow, so I can't do it easily tomorrow, but another time, if you want to go together, that's fine with me.
No, probably Dave can.
Yeah, I
was
go
wondering-
down there first thing in the morning and take a look. See.
To follow up on Impy's question from the start, though, when she should expect a response on her, like what the reasonable time frame is.
Well, my response was, I had one bush trimmed back there on the corner that she was worried about. And I didn't really think I had to call her and tell her it was done. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't expect that. It was very obvious that you'd been out and taken care of that, but I have not heard a word about the other complaint.
I hadn't heard about the other complaint. Did you receive it?
Yes, yeah,
About the trees?
I've got it. She filled out one of the road complaint forms.
Okay, I've not seen that, so.
Mary, I can't read this. Is there any hand up?
Kate has her hand up.
Okay, Kate?
My question is actually not about this specific issue. It's about an issue with another property that's probably kind of related. So I didn't know when the best was to bring that up. If
Go
that
ahead.
was new or if that was new business.
Go ahead.
Okay, so today it has been brought to my attention by a couple different people that and this I want to say before I say this is not at all, I'm definitely not trying to go after the people that do the work, and I'm not trying to go back after the property owner either, but it's something that I have a question about. That is, to me seems concerning, which is that I've been told that 55,000 gallons of water a day is being pumped out of a fire pond on the island to water the Celindes trees and sod. And granted, I don't understand how the fire ponds work. I don't understand whose property that is. I've been told that that is legal, that's within their rights. But to me, with how dry it is, how high the fire danger is, that just seemed really concerning. So I didn't know if anybody in this meeting had a better understanding of that, or not.
Does anybody in this meeting have a better understanding of that?
Unfortunately, I do. So I'm part of that one as well.
Okay, what's the story?
And the story is we are drawing down, and we drew down, pond, Thursday and Friday. We didn't draw down the pond, Saturday or Sunday. By Monday, the pond is spring fed. It did recover back up. As far as an acre foot of water is 3,000 gallons. So 1 acre of pond, if you take 33,000 gallons out of the pond, it will drop a foot. And it did. But it did recover over the weekend because Babe's Pond is spring fed.
Where is the pond? I'm sorry.
It's as you head out, Pelican Point, where New York Paul had the stockyard is.
Yeah.
Behind the stockyard.
Is that a private pond?
It's private.
Okay.
Okay,
And
that was my question. And it is legal for a property owner to use, I guess that's a private pond, so it's not private, it's not town property. So it's fine, right? That's correct?
And we do have a solution that will be probably online by Tuesday or Wednesday, where we'll be sourcing water on site.
Okay. That sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate you answering the question.
All right. The Waldo County Budget Committee ballot. Can we consider that? I assume that's this. And all that it says is that there is one candidate for the 3-year term. And we need to approve this?
If you choose,
No.
you're voting for, he's asking for your vote. It's similar to when.
Last week's, yeah.
Yeah.
Who is?
Anybody know who
No.
Ian Stover is?
Never.
No.
No.
I know Ian Stover.
Yeah, are we?
Jordy.
He's a former firefighter out of Wal.
Unless someone on the committee here is positive about an individual, I say we just
Pass.
pass.
Okay?
He-
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put my name on things I don't understand,
Right.
so.
All I know is that the budget committee has not been a great
Right,
ally of this island in the past.
Yeah,
Well, that's why you may consider putting someone from this board on that.
would anybody on the board like to step up to that plate? Because I do not.
Yeah, which is it?
Waldo County Budget Committee.
Think about it. Don't answer.
I don't know if I'd be helpful on a budget committee.
Well, you could think about it.
I'll think about it.
All right.
Try to start in November.
Okay, the annual slate of appointments, that's this here.
This is when you're gonna start signing your name.
Right, again. Select for the municipality of Islesboro, in accordance with the laws of the state of Maine, hereby appoint this slate of committee members within and for the municipality of Islesboro, such appointments be effective until the select board's first organizational meeting in the year of their designated term. So that we're appointing ourselves,
Nope, this is you're appointing all these.
all these people on this.
Correct.
Okay. And I think we basically
we agreed. all that.
agreed with all of this last meeting, right?
I think so. We were updating the list and I'm still updating the list, but tonight I want to find out about the ex officio roles to make sure they're correct, so I put them in on the spreadsheet. I had a question about Holly on the Energy Committee. No, yeah, Energy Committee. And I guess the Energy Committee met last night and they're wanting you to vote and I don't think you can.
Yeah.
But I know, that's all right.
Cause I was on the energy committee ex officio
Did you vote?
and I didn't vote.
No, you don't. Usually ex officios don't. But I did put it, the question to the town's attorney to see
Okay.
what I said you already were a member.
And I'm not even listed as an ex officio member of the Sea Level Rise Committee there.
Well,
these are just
Those are just, yeah. So when I give you this whole spreadsheet, it'll show.
The
each-
one exception that I came across, and I didn't ever try and verify this, was I was told by other members of the Islesboro Economic Sustainability Committee that I was a regular member, not an ex officio member, while I was sitting on this board. Is that right?
Since you're on the select board, you mean?
Yes.
I'd have to look at their,
Cause
the town manager.
Roger Haynes told me point blank, you get the vote. I mean, not even that I had the option, I was told that's what I had to do.
Well, can you look that up? Yeah.
All right, I'm approving this.
Do we need a motion to approve the slate?
I don't think so. I think we
It
just-
can't hurt.
Yeah,
Okay.
never heard.
Well, we have a motion to approve the slate, do I have such a motion?
Sure, motion to approve the slate.
Second, all those in favor? All right. And this is the select board's appointment of Janet.
Yeah, there's several there.
Okay. And then we sign under the select board.
Now, at least 3 people can sign. I mean, I need 3 people to sign.
All right. So are these just multiple copies of the same thing?
No, they're all different. Different hats.
That's why the clipboards are
The
different.
law enforcement administrator. The airport manager,
Yeah. That keeps me busy.
the fire department administrator. The DHWWTF, whatever that's.
Dark Harbor wastewater
Waste.
facility, treatment facility.
The road commissioner. You have many hats.
Yes.
Tax collector, all right. So you want us to sign all of these? Do we need a motion to appoint Janet to these various,
I move we appoint Janet to
okay, all these,
all these
Second.
various.
all right, all those in favor?
Can we get a
Positions.
second?
I second the
Thank
motion
you.
that Holly made.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Why don't you pass it on and keep reading the rest of it?
Okay.
And then we'll come back to you.
All right. Thank you. Very. To be sworn in. Harbor Committee member. Shellfish Committee member.
Those are probably the ones that were, on this list behind that cover sheet.
So we already approved.
Yes, technically, I don't think you have to sign the,
They did the
they did
slate.
the slate.
Okay. So,
Everybody has to have an appointment letter regardless, but you've already approved.
Yeah.
All of them.
so we don't have to do anything.
Right, what about the other one, Dave?
The other one is non-ordinance.
Non-meeting. But you have to sign all mine.
All right, but the other ones we don't have to sign. Correct.
Okay.
All right, let's not go.
All right, I'm moving ahead to dispatch. Okay. We have all those. So, we covered that, other business. Ferry line parking change idea.
There you go.
Okay.
Mr. Pendleton, you're on.
All right, real quick. I thought about this, I looked at that map. You guys can. It seems to me, and this, Holly and others will be, but. As you drive in, you come around the turn. You kind of get flooded out because you have line 3 starting. And then, you know, our parking starts and then line 3 is out on that side. My thought, if you think about it, it'd be nice if you came around there and line 3 just starts, you know, but the parking's there. And so the simple thought was, and that's what I drew up in this very creative, you know, was why don't we just take the parking and move it on the other side of, you know, the other side of the road? So they'd be, had to come through and they'd park facing out. And then, so that shifts the parking over. And then line 3 just starts right along the railing. And you just don't have any more conflict, you know, it seems like just move parking to the other side. Now, you may lose a few spots because you have the entrance down to the ramp. But, you know, and then the nice thing about that, the parking's on that side, and then we're gonna do the new paving that rolls right into, you know, there may be a kind of section where it's too tight, so you don't put any more parking, but then the new parking. So all the parking ends up being on that, if you're coming off the ferry, all on the right.
You just get in your car and go.
You just get in your car and go.
So the only thing that strikes me about this proposal is just the potential conflict between the cars exiting the ferry and what parking along there, whether that can be accommodated with what you show right here at the confluence of parking on the exit line. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, my thought is I'm not well versed enough to know what ordinances dictate if that can happen. It might be, since it is a state road, it might be worth contacting DOT and asking them first if it's possible. They'll probably send some engineers out and take a look at it.
Right, well, let's just.
I think that's fine. We can call EJ and just tell them
Yeah.
that we have another proposal. I'm gonna be over in the mainland on Friday. I can stop by his office.
Okay.
Get preliminary, what does he think about this?
Yeah.
I just thought.
I think it's a.
Well, I think that they're really concerned with safety, and if they think that that's a more safe approach to parking, then they'll go for it.
Yeah, well, I think it really affects that safety as you come in. Gosh, you know,
Oh, yeah.
like today, I went off, or that was, it's Wednesday morning, and well, it's like, oh my God. You know,
You're trying to do a 4-lane road when you only have a 3-lane road.
right,
Yeah, space for 3.
yep.
Yeah.
But, you know, we could stop, you know, we moved part of that side and we come around, we could not put a few spots to open it up further on that turn. So people get around, anyway.
The actual, this plan up here didn't call for the parking to stop before the turn.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
There's a hash marked area at the
Yeah.
corner where.
Right.
Right.
Someone's parked there right now.
2 are.
I went down.
You know, there is also a ongoing issue, which I've discussed with Fred, and I've discussed it with this group in the past, of how do we enforce this and our ability to enforce it. And, you know, it's the Wild West out there right now, which is why we're encroaching on the corner. Yes, somebody up there.
Jordy has a question.
Jordan, yes, please. Jordy?
While we're on the topic, while we're on the topic of the ferry and the opposite guardrail, if y'all remember a couple of years ago, that took a pretty big hit down there during a storm, and I'm just concerned about the overall structural integrity of that side, regardless of moving parking over there. I think if DOT is going to be contacted, they should also be talking about checking the structural integrity of where that got hit, because they just basically paved over it.
Okay. Thank you.
Two thoughts on it, Steve. One, I'm not opposed to the idea. If you can make it work, it seems like a creative solution. Two concerns being, would it would presumably be like a monodirectional parking situation? You want all the cars parking northbound?
Yeah,
facing north,
I mean,
presumably, so
yeah.
you wouldn't be turning a face to the
Or-
traffic.
oh, yeah, right.
East,
Yeah.
east, yeah.
Whatever the direction is, other than down to the ferry, up from
Up.
that, so.
Out of the ferry.
Whatever it is. The follow-up question would be, the concern, similar to what Jordy has, is that if we shift parking onto the side facing the guardrail, what kind of liability we're putting those cars that are parked there in? My freshman year in college, had a parking lot flood, they're on the hook for replacing 33 vehicles because it was an assigned parking space. This is not necessarily assigned, but it would be worth investigating what we would have to do to make sure that if we could put cars there, what we can do to safeguard them or
Right.
alleviate our.
Water crossed,
exposure.
across the road when they were parked on the other guardrail.
Right,
Yeah,
but
but
if you slide on the full road width closer
Right.
to the beach where we were watching bushes and shit come across the way, then,
Yep,
you know, I think we're.
The whole parking area along the guardrail was inundated several times. in
There were waves
2023,
coming over.
And we didn't get any back.
Right, what I'm saying though is like, right, you can like skin your knee though, because you're far enough away from something, or you can just absolutely tear the thing off because you're now closer to the danger. And that would just be a,
yeah. Good
I
point.
don't think it's a horrible idea, but I think we need to make sure that whatever exposure we have as a result of doing that.
So the town currently owns the ferry parking lot. And that's not a state road. Is there any issue of liability as far as people parking there in the flood zone?
We have to consult our insurance and
I've never heard of that before, and it
They'll have
seems
to
to
put up
me
a sign, park.
the
zone.
implied, exactly.
Yeah, it could be that.
Yeah, I think that is the assumption, the parking on the the guardrail, which is the state line, but the parking within the towns.
I agree with Pete, you know, see, it is a good idea. But I agree with Pete, if we get another storm like that and there are cars sitting there, I just envision some of them going.
Yeah, you
right
told
down
me
the
to
boat
park
ramp.
it.
Yeah, well, I,
Anybody.
Well, I mean, if you leave your car in below the high tide line when the tide comes up, I've never heard of. I mean, there were some cars lost in Lincolnville because they didn't move them, but there's ample warning for these storm surges and storms. But I mean, you should definitely have a sign to the effect of parking your own risk.
I think it's worth considering.
I just throw it out as an idea.
But quite apart whether this proposal involves additional liability, I think we need to just know that we're not exposed to liability. I was told just in the last couple of days that DOT's position is they're not gonna touch the state land until 6 times the
Oh.
parking lot is
Flooded.
flooded. And we haven't seen anything like that yet, but it's coming.
Are we up,
But,
are we up by 2?
Two.
well,
Yeah.
Keeping track.
right.
One more to go.
I don't know if it's guilty of my impression was it was 6 in 1 year,
Oh,
but I don't know. But
Oh, that could be a small print. fine print.
Well, let me just finish this, keep moving, but the point, I like Pete's comments. You know, but like if storms coming in for snow, we say you can't park. You know, anywhere that, we could do the same thing and forewarn, you know, people that are parking there. So I mean, I think those workarounds, but let's, you know, it's just an idea. I just
Okay.
wanted to bring it.
I think it's
So,
very
Interesting.
interesting. The transfer station pricing, have we already covered that?
no,
Okay,
so to Adam's point, I asked to put that on there because Jeff does a fabulous job up there. I think he's one of our premier town employees. And I want that to be on the record because he's a sharp guy, does a great job. Typically I go up with, you know, a bushel basket and, you know, some thing in the back and I'll open up the thing and go, what do you want to charge me? He'll look at the volume and say $5, $10, whatever the numbers. Well, I went up the other day and he pointed at the new price sheet and I paid $22.50 or whatever, which is the lowest amount on the charge sheet for stuff that didn't even fill this desk, like maybe this amount. So I think there's a need to look at the local resident bringing, you know, some stuff to throw in.
This is construction debris or?
No,
How
it's
is it-
household crud, you know, you got an old cooler, you got, you know, a couple pieces
But
of
it's not
wood.
paper and it's not garbage.
Right, it's not-
because then there's-
It should, yeah, I wanna pay for it, but I'm not, it just, so my point is, I'd like us to evaluate, and give Jeff the ability then to say, you know, between the 22 and here's a piece of paper, you know, he used to just look at it and tell you what a fair price was.
Okay.
And the new pricing kind of, I think he feels like it kind of tied his hands, and I wanna untie his hands.
His hands aren't tied.
Yeah, well,
What,
okay, I spent
how did-
$22, cause
How did the new pricing get installed?
we voted on it.
Didn't we?
We voted on it.
Yeah.
July 1st, you might not have been here.
Or maybe I was.
Okay,
out.
but, Brian came up with these prices. We, went up 50% from last year. Again, we're just losing money hand over fist with the demo bins, so
Right.
this is not going to solve any problem. It's like a Band-Aid on it. But-
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is, you know, we have the pricing and that's fair. But I'm not sure that either we need to inform Jeff that he has some leeway between a contractor coming in with X amount and locals bringing, you know, a box of diapers thrown away, you know.
Yeah, because he has his individual item pricing schedule that he can work on, so.
Okay, well, I
I will
just think,
talk with him and
yeah,
ask him.
I just wanna,
I'm sure he'll remember what we dropped.
Could I get a copy of that, Shelley? Because I didn't
Sure,
see that.
sure.
Oh.
Pete,
I'm a little bit feeling like this crosses into a dangerous territory of local versus.
Yeah, I don't think we want to.
I don't know that. I guess the best way I can put it is like, I'm sorry to hear you paid too much or feel like you did, but if we tell Jeff that he has the freedom to decide, then like setting those prices didn't really mean much, and we're trying to, you know, discussing things like fines for violating ordinances, talk about how we all, if everyone's following the same rules, if that's how we want to get ahead, I would be.
as long as there's a volume, I agree. I mean, let's just make sure that there's a small volume to the 22 number. Maybe that's it. I just want to make sure that we're covered on that. I'm not
Okay.
looking for special pricing. I just want to make it less,
Right.
and that's fine. If there's, so that's all I wanted to talk about.
I don't see where the bottom line is, length, right?
That
So
was,
2250, so we're looking at a 6x4x1.
But it was
Normally
it's
it's like a
less,
small pickup.
so if it's less than that, the price schedule doesn't apply?
Well, I'd have to talk with Jeff and see
Right.
what he, again, if he didn't think about looking at individual, but you said you had a basket full of things and like.
I literally opened up the back of my Jeep, threw some stuff in and went up like I typically do. So, I mean,
I think the getting the rubbish off the island must just incur a large cost for us. Cause it's more, I get rid of trash at multiple dumps and, ours seems, it's on the higher end. And so to hear that we're not covering costs is a concern.
Well, as I-
We don't want it to be so expensive that people burn their trash.
We're leaving on the
side of the road.
Yeah.
As I understand, Steve's point is only a modest comment that the lowest priced item here, which is amount considerably larger than he was trying to deposit.
Okay.
That there ought to be some latitude to, at the lowest end, to adjust that.
Yeah, I will talk with him, so he does.
Okay, I think it seems like a reasonable thing. The other. Okay.
I'm waiting,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I have asked on a number of occasions why we don't, recycle more material on the island, and was told we don't have the capability to do it, the manpower, nobody wants to administer it. I think it's too bad.
Well, we have that zero sort recycling,
Yeah.
everybody, it's free for people, you don't want to charge people to.
Right.
Trash.
Yes, sir.
I wanna reiterate what Laura said about scale. Because you're charging per square, I believe, for roofing material and stuff, I believe you're charging per square. How do you know how many squares is in that trailer? Just because what they tell you. And if you had weight, that'd be cut and dry.
Well, could we explore what that would cost?
I will, but that you usually, well, you weigh twice, you weigh when you go in.
Right,
and
right,
then
you weigh, yeah.
when you leave.
Right.
yeah. And I will, but it's thousands of dollars.
I can't imagine people wanting to buy a scale. I mean,
Well, then keep paying the fees, keep paying
For the
the,
town to.
keep losing.
but I mean, if we take it to the town, they're not gonna wanna, this is just a,
I hear you. I hear you.
I don't
I'm
know.
just
Why
saying,
does
if
that
somebody
mean,
comes
though?
up there, and I've seen it happen, I've seen somebody come up with a load of shingles or a load of whatever. And, oh, this is 6 squares, and I filled the trailer the same amount, and it was a little more than 6 squares.
Why would they be interested in scale?
It would, because they don't like to spend money, but if we wanna bring it to the town, we can, and then they can decide. I'm not,
Very good. That seems reasonable.
yeah, I just,
Definitely.
It would be a very high initial investment, yes.
right.
It would be to some degree. You have heat rides around with scales in your car.
Yeah.
You know, and they pull them out, they put them down and you weigh up.
Oh, good, we could do trucks while we're out here
Yeah.
too then.
Weigh them up.
Make some money.
Do we know, this was discussed a couple of years back when we were talking about our contract with Casella. I believe it's a
Pine
Texas-
Tree, yeah.
Pine Tree. When we pay to have our dumpsters removed, this discussion of whether it was weight versus volume came up. Do we pay the
By the
removal
ton.
fee is paid by weight or we
Yeah,
pay
by
by
the weight.
volume?
By the ton.
Okay. Great. So then that would lead us further down the path then of getting a scale to make sure that we're charging the appropriate amount to fill one of those dumpsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all.
I was
and how
under the
the-
impression we paid by the dumpster, not by the weight, but
And it all depends how it's loaded, that's why the piece of equipment Jordy, or Jeff could go up there and push it down more to get more in there to make it worthwhile. The whole load, cause if you were ever up there like I was the other day, it's just sticking up all over the top and then they won't take it. So then he has to go over there and try to come.
Okay.
cool.
Other comments about that? Okay, the Lighthouse Committee requesting a name change to the Grindle Point Light Station.
Motion to accept.
Anybody have any comment about that?
No.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Done. All right, what is this, the payroll, that
That
part
is
of the warrant?
for
I already
Pete
found
to sign.
it. Okay, sorry, you do, then the rest of us need to sign this too.
Nope, just Pete is authorized to sign the payroll. Then the
Alright.
warrant, there's 2 warrants
Yes, I got
when
it.
you get there.
All right, so we have one warrant for FY 26,
That's our accounts payable from last year's budget.
okay, $103,853.66.
Motion to agree.
Motion to approve, second,
Second.
all those in favor? All right. Motion
Holly, second.
I did.
Second.
Pete,
Thank you.
motion.
Okay, there's that. Then we have,
Warrant number 2, it's the second one in this fiscal year.
yeah. And this is for,
What's that for?
What is it for?
Town
Yeah.
expenses.
The total amount is right, there's a sheet there.
yeah.
All right.
Just
I move we. So,
$743,077.
yep, I agree.
Do we have a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Sometime we're gonna find out that we approve things that,
yeah,
Not yet. All right. Appointments, we've discovered. The chair has no comments. Individual selectmen comments. I'm going to just make one comment, which is that I took the liberty of writing to the school board saying we support them.
I don't think that was ever in question.
Exactly. All right. Any other comments from this individual selectman?
I have none.
Holly? Steve?
just that there's a document here
I was right.
that I pulled out of the state's new budget. And there was an act put in that pretty much mirrors what Ben had been proposing.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of it. We're gonna make copies, but it basically said that prohibits law enforcement agencies from using research, investigate, interrogate, blah, 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 persons for immigration purposes, and it just goes on. I thought it was an important piece of information that should be shared.
Right, and Rockland passed such an ordinance.
Yeah.
And I think it sounds.
But this is at the state level, so
Yes.
just, I want everybody. That's all. Thank you.
I'll make sure Fred did that.
Yeah.
So, Howie, do you have any comments? No. Anything else? No. Steve? No. All right.
One question before you adjourn. Did we come to a decision on the sea level rise? Who wants to be the ex officio?
I am.
You are, okay,
I agreed to stay on.
okay.
Just so you know, I think there are some fairly substantial issues that are gonna come before us and before the Sea Level Rise Committee. There are two very substantial grants that we feel we have an excellent chance of getting, but they involve a significant match on the part of the town. And, we will be considering that in the future. All right, any other business? A motion to adjourn?
I make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
I